Come on. Everybody play together.
Welcome to Baking with Frank. Frank Rush was a baker at the turn of the 20th century at the Uffelman Baking Company in Cincinnati, and then at his own bakery in Newport, Kentucky. Frank was also my great-grandfather. Through his handwritten batch-sized recipe book, I'm breaking down his recipes and getting to know him better. I'm Tom Mattingly, and this is Baking with Frank.
Welcome back to Baking with Frank. We are celebrating 1 year. We started out last year with a pie on Pie Day, and we're starting out this year with a pie. A little early for Pie Day, but still, a pie. Thank you all. Seriously, thanks for all of you that have stuck with me throughout the year, no matter when you joined during the year. I very much appreciate it. Now would also be a really good time to hit the like button and follow so you know when these things drop. Putting it out there. All right, so for Pie Day, in our tradition, our now 2-year tradition, we're gonna make a pie. And we're gonna start with Grandma's pie crust recipe. Okay, you can't really see that, it's reflecting. But anywho, trust me on this is Grandma's pie crust recipe. And we are gonna make the favorite pie that she used to make for me, which is an apple pie. So, here's how that goes. Take a look down here. Once again, we are not using the KitchenAid. So per Grandma's recipe, 2 cups of flour going directly into the bowl, and 2/3 of a cup of Crisco, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All right, and just start cutting in the Crisco into the flour. And the goal here, as I recall from Grandma, is to get this into little tiny chunks in the flour, once again all-purpose flour, that are about the size of a pea, because the Crisco, it evaporates. That's the word I'm looking for. And that's what makes the crust flaky. So I think that's close enough. Now, to that, I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of ice water. 1/3 of a cup of ice water. Pour that in like that. If we need a little more, we'll use a little more. If we don't, we won't. Now, interestingly, in Frank's cookbook, Effie has written down a 1-crust apple pie, top crust, of course. So this is clearly a tradition that's been going on for many years in the family. Trying not to really knead it because I don't want to make bread here, but you know, it does need to at least be in one cohesive lump. I think we're going to need a little bit more water. Conveniently, it comes right out of the refrigerator door. So put that in there. Let's see where we get. That was probably another tablespoon of water. Okay, happy with that. So, there's our pie crust. Direct from Grandma's recipe. Get those little bits into it. And I'm going to split this in half, just like that. Set one piece aside. Pick up those little bits. Put a little bit of flour out here. Come on. Everybody play together. So, pat that out a little bit. Just flip it over. And we'll start rolling out the crust. Uh-oh. Stay with me there. Pick it up. Spread out the flour, turn it over. That should do it. Yes, I have patrolling dogs today because, I might drop something that they'd be interested in eating. But that's all right. All right, is it the best pastry crust ever made, pie crust ever made? Probably not. But it's the one that we got. I'm going to patch a little hole here, best I can. Now, move that out of the way. And start preheating the oven while I'm covered in flour to 400 degrees. And we're going to take the second of the crusts. This will end up being the top crust, of course, because that's how these things work. And it's the same process. Oof. Now Belle is very interested in what might be happening over here. Granny Smith's. All right, so wait, look at me. I think it's going to take about 4. I bought 5. If it takes 5, it takes 5. More apple goodness. So, we're going to peel these up. Going the old-fashioned way, just like Grandma would have. And this is going to take a hot minute, so I'll let you do something to amuse yourself in the meantime. All right, so I'm at 3 apples. I knew they were large apples, but I think I'm actually pretty darn close to having a full crust here. So we're going to do a quick little test and see where we are. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. You know what, I think I'm going to do one more, which would be the... Oh, apparently we're under attack. I'm going to do one more, which would be the requisite 4 apples. I'm going to go let the dogs out. Now you can answer that question. And be back. All right, so 4 apples. We'll save that one for a rainy day. I'm going to add on 1 cup of granulated sugar. Sprinkle that all over the top, like that. And cinnamon, because, I mean, maybe it's apple pie. We are Americans. And simply because it was in Effie's recipe, I've never had it before in an apple pie, a little bit of nutmeg. Oops, let's get that to the shaker side. I know nutmeg was a very common early American spice, so we're going to give it a run. All right, so we will also, because I know my grandma did this, I know my mom did this, I know my aunt does it, so we're all going to benefit. Just dot it with some butter. Like that. I'm going to say this is a tablespoon of butter in total, but you can see it's like, that size. All right, get that out of the way. We're going to bring our other crust back in. Beautiful. And I've practiced since last year. It's kind of a lie. but we're going to seal up the edges. Just like that. Now, let's see if I can make this work. This is called a fluted edge, as I understand. That's kind of a highfalutin edge. Come on, highfalutin. Now, some folks will tell you that you need to brush this with egg, or an egg wash, or milk, or something like that to make it brown. I don't remember Grandma ever doing that, so I'm not going to do it today. I don't remember Mom doing that. I don't remember Aunt Sue doing that. So we're going with what we got. Now, what we are going to do, though, is make some holes for steam to escape, because as those apples cook down, they will most certainly start to produce steam. Get a little bigger hole there in the middle. There we go. I think that should do. All right. And we're going to stick this in the oven for, I don't know how long. I'm going to start at half an hour. We'll go from there. 400 degrees. And when it's all done, we don't have pie. Okay, so we are at 50 minutes. Starting 400 degrees. After about 25 minutes, I lowered it down to 375. Yeah, I Googled that because, Grandma didn't tell me. I'm gonna pull it out of the oven. Now that, in my estimation, is a fine looking pie. Still hot, very, very hot. So we're gonna let it cool down, and then we're gonna have pie. We've been cooling. Said pie reminds me a lot of Grandma's, from its color to the way it smells. So let's get a piece out. All right, it's a little soggy. That's on me, not on Grandma. Still smells phenomenal. Crust bitsies are tasty. But yeah, I'm not wasting any of this. You should be jealous you're not me right now. It tastes a lot like Grandma's. Nothing's ever as good as Grandma's, but it's pretty close. Happy Pie Day. Thank you for a year. See you next time.